There you go.
All right. Thank you all for your help. Um, so my name is Michael Walter. I'm in the chemistry. I'm the program director for the chemistry and nanoscale science PhD program at UNC Charlotte. Um, and I am very new to this program, and I am a fellow who is still in the process of becoming knowledgeable. So I know there's so much I don't know, and I'm learning a lot. The former fellow Juan Vivera Escoto, I took over for him this past summer. So I believe he ended the summer before previous. And at the same, a year before that, I actually became the graduate program director for this program. So our program was launched in 2007 as a nanoscale science PhD program, one of the second in the country. And this past year, we changed our name to Chemistry and Nanoscale Science, primarily because the program was being housed in the Department of Chemistry. Our students are TAs in chemistry. I mean, a lot of what they do is through chemistry. However, it is an interdisciplinary program. We had faculty mentoring students from in physics, engineering, biology, but primarily in the past, it has been sort of the chemistry PhD program. We do not have a PhD in chemistry. These other programs also have their own PhD program. Since starting, I think cohort sizes have ranged between bringing in, this is a smaller program. We currently have 33 students in the program, and underrepresented students counted for about 20% of the student population since its beginning, and that has fluctuated. The proposal, the diversity proposal, the proposal that I received from the former fellow talked about a survey that was done early on about really focused on students, asking them kind of what areas of the program could be improved or what areas were lacking. And we realized that the survey was done for all the students. However, we think it would impact these students as well as underrepresented students, maybe even more so. And these are the things that stood out. So one of the things was poor mentoring from advisors. This was feedback from our PhD students. Some lack of background preparation. So we have a really interesting program. It's very interdisciplinary. It's not just like, that's a chemistry major, they want to go to our program. We have physics majors, biology background, engineering background, lots of different kinds of backgrounds come into our program. Also, poor understanding of the expectations of the program was also listed as something that needed to be improved. And another area was challenges in their home lives. And one thing that comes up a lot that I've noticed in the past 2 years is the struggles and the challenges of being a parent as a graduate student. So the first one, the mentoring goals, I think last year when I first came in to the program, that was kind of the first thing we started working on. So these are goals that are in progress. They're part of our plan. The plan is still being developed. But we have a course that students enter where they can get an understanding of, not only individual development plans, but what does a healthy research environment look like? What are the expectations of my mentor? And so for this first semester, that very first semester they come in, they have a lot more practice in filling out an IDP, actually talking to a research advisor. Many of our students, since our cohorts are only about 5 to 10 students per year, many of them know who they're going to be working for, who they want to work for. They've already reached out to that mentor. Some can do rotations, but working on that IDP right away is really important. Also, we do a lot of training about that committee formation. We want people to meet their committee early on. We know that the advisor can be the mentor, but we also see that having others in the department or on campus that they can interact with and learn from can help them be successful. Also, on the faculty side is mandatory Chem Nano faculty training. So this is training how to be a good mentor that's offered through Advance. So we're still working on the details about, well, how often should that training be done. This is for faculty who are going to be mentoring students. Background preparation is a big one. Because we have such a large area of research, their their training as an undergraduate or maybe as a master's student is critical. And one thing that I've seen that has been really exciting is two things: recruitment of our own undergraduates. In fact, one of our students, Sharonda LeBlanc, who's actually now an assistant professor in physics at NC State, was an undergrad at UNC Charlotte, is now in the Hall of Fame because she was also a track and field star. She was an undergrad and then went through that program. So she was recruited to come into the program, did amazingly in the program, did a postdoc, and it was exciting that she kind of made it to be an assistant professor. And actually, our lab collaborates with her. We send her some of our materials from our chemistry lab. Another thing that I think is really interesting is our NanoSure REU program, the NSF program. I'm also the director of our REU program. And that is a great summer program to bring in undergrads who might be interested in the nano program. They don't really know what it's about. It's in the chemistry department. Do I need to know chemistry? And we do a lot of outreach activities. And one of our success stories, Alexa, was a PhD. She graduated this year. She has a postdoc at NIH and NCI right now, National Cancer Institute. So those two, it's kind of like we can see the preparation at UNC Charlotte. We know our own students. Also, the RU is a great way to bring in students to, expose them to the program. So I think that's going to be an important part moving forward. Expectations of the program, again, all these things we hope are going to help everyone, but especially, for underrepresented students who face even greater challenges as they're coming in. And so, for instance, just making it really clear exactly what you've got to do every semester. And understanding the mentoring and working on a graduate handbook that they can just hold in their hands and know what to do with it. The last thing I'll talk about is just home life challenges. And this has come up for me since I've had two students actually kind of struggling with having children. And I know how hard it is to have little ones and try to finish a PhD degree. And that was also my experience. And so one of our students, Allison Static, and I have been working together. We had our first meeting. It was just me and her talking about stuff. But now we've actually organized the Charlotte Parent Organization on campus. And it's all about a lot of different things, but primarily just making our campus family friendly. Because right now, there's a lot of things that are missing, and trying to get into compliance with federal rules. So there's a lot that we're working on. We've actually met with the provost, and we'll be meeting with the chancellor. And so we've got some leadership who are really interested in this, thinking about support for undergraduates, graduates, postdocs, having places, just making sure there's changing tables in every bathroom, or having places for breastfeeding or whatever on campus, or having an area where diapers and clothes can be provided for grad students. We really think this is going to be helpful. And it's actually not just for graduate students, it's for our whole campus community. Faculty have always talked about maybe even having someday childcare on campus. How crazy would that be? So just supporting and making our community a really attractive place to want to come, to know that there are these support systems in place. And then recruitment is a big one. I've listed a bunch here. SACNAS, of course. CERMAX is big for chemists. It's so the American Chemical Society is the largest scientific body in the world, and the Southeastern Regional American Chemical Society is the largest regional ACS meeting in the United States. So that's a big one for recruiting. We're starting to send out student ambassadors to give talks, our grad students, at local universities. That picture there is actually my student who went to Western Carolina to give a seminar on her research and talk about our program. The Women's Chemist Committee is a new thing that we started through the local section. That's part of our recruitment too. So, and lastly, the Global Women's Breakfast is something I've been a part of IUPAC for many years. And if you don't know about this, you should check it out. It's really great. There's only 2 in North Carolina. And we're excited to be one of those this year. And so that's kind of another kind of initiative, just to have people like, oh, well, look what UNC Charlotte's doing. They're getting their PhD students involved in other things besides just research. Okay, so just to follow up, those were kind of the big 4 or 5 areas that are part of our plan. Engaged mentoring, preparation for success, preparations to succeed, clear expectations for our students, campus family life support, and always recruitment. I feel like that's just an obvious, hopefully. But like for instance, tomorrow I'm actually going to be giving a seminar at NCA&T to talk about our program and recruit students to come to UNC Charlotte. So hopefully I'll get some students who are interested in coming to do a PhD with us. And that's it.